Welcome. Here we are, we're back with the war number 2. As you can see from the previous screenshot, war 1 against GT40. Started off strong, but hey, in the end, those guys took the W. So now all we can do is regroup, recalculate, and move on. Here, we're starting off again on path 7. We're bringing our rank 4 Iceman in the war this time, and we have Mantis to deal with. Now, luckily, unlike whoever I fought last time, I think it was Chill. Mantis doesn't really have a way to cleanse or purify these debuffs. So I can freely throw specials and not have to worry about the damage back from the node. And as you can see, between the cold snaps and frostbite, she just melted away. Like, that fight barely took 30 seconds, so shout out to Iceman. Alright, now we're here, we have our Aggression Fury Mamthing. My plan here is mostly just use SP2 with Deathless She-Hulk so I can have Wither, which will power drain any of his Mystic Dispersion power gain he gains. And we're poison immune, so we're not too worried. Only thing is, I kind of suck at Texing his SP1, so my goal is just pushing the SP2 if I can. If he does do the SP1, 50-50 I avoid it, but the plus side is the armor break should and the tranquilized debuff should keep my health pretty much topped up, so I'm not too worried about that. See, here everything went okay, but yeah, I don't know. It's like, he throws it, then it slows down. It's just weird animations to me, so... but the cool thing is we pretty much have the fight situated and on lock at this point. Luckily with the trauma, our damage is going to increase since critical hits do not deal extra damage to Mamthing. So the plan here, like I said, just kind of slow and steady, but we build the trauma, we punish his specials, we fire our SP2, so that way we can keep any power gain from Mystic Dispersion down. And we just keep on going. I tried to swipe in, but for some reason a light attack happened. But hey, we keep it moving. The Mamthing is slowly melting down. He's a very tanky boy. I'm actually curious if this was a R4 or R3 Mamthing. I'm a big Mamthing fan, so he's definitely on my list of potential R4s coming up. We have the spring cleaning coming. I currently have 2 T7 basic, and Kabam said we will get 4, so I can potentially get 2 more out of there. Alright, so luckily we took down the Mamthing with no issues. Alright, now we're on path 9, section 2, so we have this hazard shift arcade. We're gonna apply the invulnerability boost just in case, either A, we get auto block parried, or B, we can push him to SP3 and just chill with no worries. We're using Deathless Thanos, who's both poison and cold snap immune. So the poison phase, ideally the goal is just to basically combo while he was under 2 tokens, and then after that just kind of parry heavy. We made sure we got out of the cloud so we can not deal with all of the debuffs and arcade gaining more arcade tokens. So in the cold snap phase we can attack normally without him gaining any more tokens. It's just in the poison phase our immunity is triggering. So here the plan is just to counter attack heavy. Power focus 2 keeps it so his power will stay close to 2 bars, luckily. And the plus side is we have the invulnerability boost, so we can push him to SP3 with no worries. We dex the last hit on the SP2. One day we'll get the full dex down. But for right now, it's just either parry heavy or counter attack heavy. And that will wrap things up. Deathless Thanos, gotta love it. Like Kabam designed him for this one fight. But we all know he's good all around. Alright, so now we're moving on. And here we have this R4 Lumatrix or Lumatrix, who's coming up next, and you know, this fight was kind of worrisome. We're already seen issues with this guy on another node. I did some duels or practice fights since I have a rank 1 7-star, and we have one eye open, so we cannot attack. And okay, I should have turned these notifications off during the recording, but here we are. So as soon as that happens, my daughter actually woke up and was yelling and telling me that she's awake. So I'm like, okay, cool. Alright, but the plan here is to start with a power start 1 boost. The goal is to be able to keep our SP1 going so we can always have a cold snap. So that way Lumatrix cannot evade against us. The backup plan is if he does go invisible, we want to have a special so we can throw our SP1 to cancel his invisibility and then get a cold snap. But coming into the fight, ideally we're just here to hold block, bait the heavy, and punish the end of his combos and his heavies. Which so far so good. We don't want to go to 2 bars, we want to stay at 1 so we can keep our cold snap going. And I'm not worried if I do push him to SP3 as long as I have my ice armor. It won't deal more than 5% damage. Luckily here he threw his SP2, which I'm grateful for, because each bar of power he has a percent chance to throw any of his specials, so it's not a guarantee that he does throw the SP2. But as you can see, the frostbite and cold snaps are just melting this guy. And so we're very grateful for that. And yeah, there was no room for me to actually bait that dodge that heavy in the corner. But we throw a striker just to get momentum back in 1 combo and he's down. Shout out to Iceman, that was under a minute, rank 4 Lumatrix. Trust me, that guy's more of a pain than he appears, so I had to take the screenshot for a moment. And yeah, I think he's going to be a pretty solid addition to the skill class. Alright, and now we're back to the Node 44 Mini, the Armin Zola. So here we just want to add our 12% boost for our special attacks. And we're coming back in with Deathless She-Hulk. Now this time we're fighting a rank 3 compared to last time where we had a rank 4. So, you know, we're expecting to finish the fight quicker and to have cleaned up a lot that happened the first time. So the plan here is to bait the heavies, punish the heavies. And basically I'll do a combo, and then after that, the next heavy I will counterattack with the heavy so we can reduce his charges down to 0. We did have our invulnerability boost in case, you know, just to be on the safe side. So we're trying to bait the SP1, luckily he finally does throw it. We stopped our combo, so we did not push him too far in his charges. Do some heavies to get him back to 0. And this time around, our goal is to go to SP3 before we do anything else, because last time I lost all my trauma. So we're going to throw SP3 to increase our debuff duration. We'll get a debilitate debuff. And like I said, that'll increase our debuff durations, making it easier to keep our trauma, especially if, you know, a guy has 10 plus trauma and doesn't want to throw a special like he should. So I did debate between, after this, going for special 2s or going for a second SP3, since we can have up to 2 debilitate debuffs. This round I did not go for the second SP3, but if I ever do this fight again, I think I will go ahead, because the damage I end up doing off my special 2, honestly, it wasn't all that great. And I was thinking, you know, for what it was worth, I probably would have just been better off with more debuff duration. So, like I said, you know, we're like 50-50 when it comes to the SP1 dodge, but we're slowly getting there. We bait out his heavy so we can not keep his charges down. You get hit by that SP1 enough, you kind of get the timing. So with how much Zola's reducing our special attack damage, you can see there, I still debated between going for that second SP3. And I told myself, okay, next time, like I said, we'll always just go 2 SP3s. Or we might just keep it up and just only use special 3. But at this point, we pretty much have the space control here. We're gonna bait out his special, bait out one more, so after that we can do some heavies to get him knocked down. Of course, he does a full combo into my block instead of throwing a heavy. But we're not too worried. Like I said, the first time I took this fight, I was under 50% health at this point. And lo and behold, we finally take down our mini. And our first time, the fight took over 4 minutes. Second time, we were just under 3 minutes. So yeah, we can definitely clean that up some more. Like I said, next time I'll go for the 2 SP3s back to back. Alright, so appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're up against NY718. How will this war end? Tune in for the next video to find out. Peace.
That's all, folks.